All right. I have pressed the button.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Dove, can you tell us what session number this is?
30.
Session 30. We are all right. Okay. Um, we are rejoining the members of Team Silence as they are returning from a visit to Imrith, where they have discovered that hold on one second. There we go. A little music in the background there. Okay. So they have discovered um, not only the the origins of Tomas's master, but the fact that there is a dragon not only present in Corvair on the mainland, but who is actively involved in events taking place. In addition to this, it has been made known that this dragon, Imrith, is none other than the supposed father of Yezdov Villanova.
Oh, yeah.
Villanova. All of you have seen some changes to Dove over the past several months, but even Dove was taken aback and um, unsure how to process this information. During the course of these events, um, there was a breaking point reached by the group after Imrith forcibly removed the blade known as Honor's Call from Lob. He has vanished after a brief exchange of words with the party. The party wakes up to find that Lob has not been seen at the. As you guys make your way down to the common room, Imrith has told you that it is absolutely paramount that you guys convince the king to not pass the laws that are slated for a vote that would introduce restrictions against the dragon marked houses. In addition, he said that it is critical that you prevent open hostilities between House Lorandar and House Orion, as they both vie for contracts from House Vidalis. With these things in mind, you know that these mirror exactly what the Council of 12 would have you do. In addition to this, both Dalavash and the rest of you, but in particular Safiel, have been invited to see the Kalishtar, uh, the High Seeker, directly, and have been given uh, a writ of passage allowing you to not only enter the Kalashtar Enclave, but seek an audience with the High Seeker. So as you guys awaken, you know, um, you know that after briefly talking with some individuals, you know that that Lob left late in the night with everything packed um, and heading out. So you guys wake up in your new inn and start your day. What are you guys going to do first? I know a lot has happened, and you have currently a lot on your plate. Um, so I'm going to let you guys kind of discuss that and let me know where you're headed, what your next plan will be. And if you need to, don't forget, if you go to the journals page, it's the open book, you will see the quest log. Oh, there's one more thing I forgot to mention, which is that the governor of Fairhaven had challenged Lob to a champion's duel, but you guys were all a part of that. As in essence, he was fighting, or the challenge was to prevent basically Motorshard from arresting and questioning all of you. So, with Lob missing, you have no idea what will happen with that. Will you forfeit?
Did he leave us any kind of indication on like don't follow me, that kind of thing? Because obviously, for the sake of the game, we're gonna let it go. But I think in character, we'd probably actively try to figure out where he went and try to start a pursuit, which wouldn't necessarily be good for a game.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that there was a note left.
So for whatever reason, we know he's fine, he's safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was indeed a note left. Yeah. It's in the journal section.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, thank you, Jamie. All right. Yes. Hold on. I don't know if.
we're in the journal
I
section.
can't see it.
No.
Yeah,
I don't
it
think
may
they
be
have.
hidden.
Hold on. Yeah, it's only. Note to Dove. Okay.
It's addressed to Dove, but it's addressed in her full name.
Oh, formal. Uh-oh.
Okay. Thank you.
Can everybody read it?
No, I just opened it up to you first.
Okay.
But you know what? For the sake of expediency,
Yeah, because I would share it.
I'm going to open it up so
Yes.
everyone can now read it. Thank you, Jamie. I totally forgot we did that. Makes so much more sense.
It's a silence as we all read this note. Oh, cool. Interesting. Yeah, I look over it once we find it, and then I just kind of pass it around with a slight shake of my head and just a sigh.
Sorry, that last line was funny. Yeah,
Who's got a
I'm
bell
not.
ringing in the background?
That would be my bell. They got the
That's
clock
not
tower.
the church, is it?
No, they got the clock tower reworked.
Oh.
I mean, it's working again.
Damn,
I'll mute my mic.
that's fun.
I thought it was
That
like
hasn't
in the
worked for a
game or
while.
something. I thought that was like a church bell in
Yeah.
town ringing.
Yeah, it was great actually.
So if I remember correctly, we were supposed to be getting a new contact from the 12.
Yes, we did. We need to go back this morning. I'm so glad you said that because I forgot that was one thing I was going to mention. That we went last night and spoke to them before we went to Emrys, and they said to come back in the morning.
Okay.
And I think we were going to do that before we went to see the Kalashtar.
We're getting a new contact, like, to replace Nikolai?
Right.
Yes, because he's compromised.
Oh, yeah. I think I was drunk for the end of that game, but I don't remember.
Okay.
Don't forget that in the letter that everything that Lob had obtained is also in that package.
Okay. Like what kind of stuff?
There were some notes. There was a letter written in a different language. You know what I'm talking about, Nate?
Yes.
What about that sword? Did Lob have it, or does the dragon
I
still
believe
have
it's
it?
still at the Dragon's Place.
Yeah, he
Oh,
left
yeah.
it behind with Emerith.
Okay.
Remember, it was like some kind of a relic or an artifact too. It's
Yeah.
pretty important. Oh, actually, this isn't important.
I look at our quest log, and I feel like each of these tasks is so important that it needs to be done first. Before we look at the others.
You have several main quests going on.
Yeah, we do.
Well, do your duty is in line of what we're already doing with the arboration for the house, and part of that we also want to meet King Jurian. Nope,
Yeah.
King whatever the fuck
We
his
don't-
name is.
We don't have any kind of
Rogar.
contact to get to
Yeah.
him yet, I don't think.
But I know that a couple sessions ago, Jurian said that he wanted to speak with me, so that could be something to converse with about getting in with the king, aside from having to do the duel, which could take care of a lot. It looks like a lot, but if you think about it, it's not. It's actually really like two main things we need
Yeah,
to
a lot
do.
of them are connected.
Yeah.
Do we know any details about the upcoming duel? Like, is it a
Nope.
duel to the
Don't.
death, or no?
We didn't like no time, no date, just that they were going to reach out to, well,
Yeah.
someone. So what do we want to do first?
Well, I know, Hunter, you're itching to go meet
Oh,
the
yeah.
Kalashtar right now.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I was thinking we hit the get our new contact and maybe talk to them for a bit if we have the option to do so, and then maybe head over to the Kalashtar thing just while we figure out our next course of action.
Mhm.
Yeah, they might give us documentation to look at too, depending on how hush hush they want it to be.
Yep.
But yeah, I agree. The sooner we get it over with, the better.
And has time been set for the actual arbitration meeting yet, or
No.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
Nope, we
Which is
haven't
why we want to
done,
try
like-
to talk to the individual factions beforehand if we can. To see what their standing is in this whole involvement, get an idea before we actually sit down.
I mean, that is a good idea, but we had also, I thought, originally set it up so that we would meet them all at the same time to make sure it was or looked impartial.
Well, that was the party.
Yeah.
True.
I think the final arbitration was where it will be us impartial, but we need to figure out more than just what do you have in stake for this? Like, what is going on with them?
True.
If we can, obviously. They might not all be open to talking, but it'd be nice if we could find a compromise. The more we know, the better.
Yeah. If any one person is really, really happy, then you didn't make a good compromise.
True. Plus, we can get insight from Janella and see what she knows.
Also, I believe someone had mentioned that I think it might have been that other team from the 12, but I may be wrong on this, thought that the Lady Lorandar was acting strangely or up to something.
Hey, Dove.
Yes.
There are 2 additional notes that I have made available to you. So the first one is a packet from Dorvek.
Yep.
And then the second one are some of the items that he describes. Notes written in Draconic.
Which I speak.
Yes.
Are you talking about the woman that was at the party, Chris? Because she was just like all over douche canoe. That's all I have for notes, is that she was very...
That was Orion, not Lorandar.
Oh.
Mhm.
Hold on. Well, I have a note with her about douche canoe.
So Orion was blushing and avoiding his looking at him or things like that, where Randar was, I think, sitting next to him.
That's what I have,
Okay.
but it could be on the wrong line. Oh.
But it suggests to me there's a possibility that it's unclear to me whether Orion fancies him or just really dislikes him, and Lyrandar may have sat next to him due to having some connection to him, but regardless, I seem to remember someone having concerns about Lyrandar.
I'm looking. That was all the way back in March.
Jamie's new guy in a PCs folder.
I am indeed in the PC folder.
Raymond. Do I have to roll
I
the
won't
R
have
when
to.
I say it?
Uh,
Raymond?
The D is silent.
Oh, Raymond.
Yeah, Raymond.
You do need to. Well, so Dove, I only share those with you so far. If you
Yep.
want to share them to the rest of the group, let me know.
Yeah, I think I'd pass them out when we see Lob's note, kind of by
Okay.
way of explanation on why he felt the need to leave.
Yeah, for the second one, missives found. Those are your basically your notes from what the couple notes that were apparently obtained by Dorvek contained. They weren't large, but again, they were written in Draconic, and you are the only one that speaks it.
I'll translate if anyone wants to know what it says.
Really? I thought
will.
Mother
Yeah.
spoke Draconic. Was I wrong?
Let me.
Maybe.
I think there's a chart that shows everything we can speak, right?
There is. There is, and I thought I checked it when I learned it was in Draconic, and I thought Mother. I could be wrong.
I don't
Well,
think
yeah.
Mother filled out.
Apparently not in this
Yeah,
system.
looks like just me.
Okay.
Chris, I put in the note that I have regarding what you're talking about in
Yeah,
the
you
chat.
never
just so can
you
see it.
never picked a language on D&D Beyond, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised it's the only other language that I speak.
I mean, now it makes complete sense.
Right, but I mean, why it's the only one and not like 3 or 4 others?
So if you want, Chris, you can go into your race and choose a language.
Maybe you sing in Draconic and people just think it's really exotic,
Yeah.
but you're actually telling everyone in the crowd that they really suck.
I thought bards start with more languages. Maybe there's an issue with it. I don't know.
Well, I'd have to go into
Yeah, I
the
guess
Roll20 version to check because I'm pretty sure I did choose a language there. I think it's Gnomish, but I'd have to check again.
Bought 2 more players' handbooks. So, and gave one to Bethany for her birthday, since they're gonna actually
Oh.
start playing for the first time.
Well,
And the other one,
For EJ. Half the
she
group.
didn't have.
She didn't
she
have
didn't
her
have
own
one
5th
already?
edition. No, because we switched over to Roll20 almost a year after we started playing 5e in the first place. She has a 3rd and a 4th, I think. And a 2nd. Now she has
Well, the fourth makes good kindling.
a 5th. Ouch.
Wow, sheesh.
I've been toying with an idea with 2nd edition, but you gotta get a real good group of people to touch that.
Hmm.
And the character sheet on Roll20 for 2nd edition kind of sucks. So I think I'd probably deal with paper sheets if we did that ever.
Yeah, Chris, you're right. It's Gnomish.
okay.
Oh, so you and I can talk.
Dalabash knows so many languages.
Oh no, I don't know
Holy
Gnomish. I
shit.
really should know Gnomish, seeing as that's literally part of how I was raised. But
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't take that for a language.
well, I don't. I have Thieves' Cant, Common, and Quarry. I don't think I had another option.
Oh, I see.
Well, languages have become more commonplace.
I know like 7 for
Like
some
everyone automatically starts with common. That
Yeah.
wasn't always
Yeah.
the case.
Yeah.
Gramlock being an example.
Yes.
What do you mean you don't have common? How are you supposed to interact with the rest of the party?
Garjuja.
Cartoon job. All right.
No Garjujak.
What does your large muscular friend say? I don't know. He keeps saying thing about guard Jujak or some such thing.
That was the greatest. If these guys don't know the story, Jamie gave me, what was it, 12
A
words?
dictionary.
I get to pick 12 words that they knew from my language. And everything else was gibberish.
Nice.
Yeah, I only because I got the idea from a Dragon magazine article that said how to make your own fantasy languages.
Oh yeah, because I was limited to my alphabet.
Yeah.
Yep. But also in second edition, barbarians couldn't learn how to speak and read write till 3rd level.
I think they generally still don't know how to read and write, do they?
I don't think 5th edition has those kind of
Yeah.
restrictions.
Yeah. Like I said, everyone starts with common now.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
And
Hey.
everyone can read and write now, I think.
All right. So you did roll your hit points, Jamie.
Me?
Yeah. So 38 was your rolled hit
It
points.
should have been the very last roll in the average.
Yeah, I see that. You put yourself to level 7.
Am I not supposed to be level 7?
You are not. You're supposed to be level 6. I just realized that.
Oh, alright. I'll take a level off.
I just did,
Alright.
but I was
And then
fixing
you're
your
gonna-
hit points.
You're gonna upload me? Re-upload me?
Yep. I'll re-upload you.
I was jumping the gun.
Yeah.
Thought we were 7 for some reason.
Okay.
I mean, we are. The DM just doesn't remember, right, guys?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
I could use that 6th level bard.
I mean, how bad are you feeling, Nate? Because come on now.
Maybe it's affecting your memory.
How could I have forgotten that I bumped you guys to level 7?
Really?
You guys are only 7? I thought it was 20.
Oh.
No, because then
Matt
the
would
bad
say.
guys really start coming.
All right.
Yeah.
We are fixed. Holy crap! How did Lob have so many hit points?
He was a fighter.
Big con.
Yeah. But
I picked up toughness or something. One of the ones that.
okay.
Uh,
Geez, I was just looking at what the hit points compare. Oh,
So-
Dalvash has more hit points than you.
So when I get to be a 6th level bard, right? If I give you inspiration and you use it and you fail the roll, you keep the inspiration.
Ooh.
What?
That's the first thing. And also, I can make anybody understand my speech no matter what language it is.
Nice.
Can't read and write every language, but I can speak intelligibly to any intelligent creature that can speak for 1
Wow.
hour. I think it's a once per day power, and it only works for an hour, but still.
That could be useful.
Yeah.
What subclass did you take?
Eloquence,
Oh, yeah.
which is why deception and persuasion default to a 10 minimum on the D20 roll. And I
Yeah.
have like plus 12 to both of those. So it's like, I'll just take my 22 on
Your minimum rolls are
persuasion.
22.
Yeah. I'm a consummate liar.
Dove,
Yes.
the notes that you find in Draconic, can I keep those?
Sure.
Thank you.
Since they detail stuff about you. Yeah, well, and all of us.
Well,
technically,
all
but-
of us, but it depends on how honest he'll be.
The in particular, and I guess I'll just edit it real quick. Okay, so there are 2 notes. Probably could have said that a little better. One is about your whereabouts, where you guys were. Oh my god, when you went to Mount Cambro.
Mhm.
But the other is when Safel had gone off to Cathedral.
Oh, yep.
I'm not sure how many of you knew. Lob knew, but I think Lob is the only one that that Tomas basically staged a rescue effort for Safiel, only to find out that Safiel had
Oh, yeah.
but only
I think
Lob
it
was
was
out
only
in
Lob.
the
Yeah.
only Lob was out in the lobby.
Ran into him out there when he
area.
was like, "Oh, you're
So-
yeah."
And then Safiel came out of the room, and then it was like, oh, I see.
Yep.
You've already rescued yourself.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He wasn't that mad and stupid as you guys thought he was.
Okay.
Not stupid, but generally mad.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys have the notes. You've kind of read them. It's about a little after 9:45 in the morning. And what do you guys? What did you guys decide?
We didn't yet, I don't think.
I think
All
we're gonna. I think first thing in the morning we're gonna swing by and see if we have a new contact
yeah.
first, and then we're heading to the Kalistar. Was the plan? I believe.
Understand Lob's concerns now. He could have shared.
I think he
He
tried.
couldn't read half of them.
I think he tried, and I think we just presumed.
He was not very specific.
No.
Well, we know what we know now.
I'm sure our paths will cross again.
We will see.
Okay. So you guys are heading to like a House Civis speaking stone.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Takes you a little bit of time to get there. You guys probably ate breakfast, I'm assuming, all that stuff. So it's almost close to about 11 a.m. When you get there, and sure enough, you do have new assignment. Your new contact is Avar de Fiarlan. But there's not a whole lot of information other than that you will be in touch, or that he will be in touch. But to, basically, you have your orders. It is more important now than ever to ensure that there are no further outbreaks of hostilities between the houses, and that we are presented as a united front, particularly with all of the political upheaval and pressure against the King of Andir to enact harsh laws and edicts against the houses. It is of paramount importance that now more than any other time that the houses are seen as strong and united. So basically, you have a new contact, but everyone is telling you handle this dispute.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. Yeah. We're just
No
trying to stop
pressure.
a international war, but
Yeah. But
That's why you're the
Yeah.
talker. You're good
Mhm.
at that stuff, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. That's what they tell me.
you talk and I shoot things.
So I tell them.
Okay.
So I guess
So
that's...
have we
Go ahead.
gotten a sense, is it mostly the Purple Party that is trying to enact these sanctions, or are the people
Yeah.
of Ondair behind
Yeah.
also in
it's-
favor, or...
It is from everything you've gathered. There's kind of a split. For the most part, most people are indifferent. They see the houses as just the houses. I mean, they've done so much to enhance life throughout all of Corvair, from a national banking system to a nearly universal lightning rail system that's only disrupted on the eastern side of Corvair, as it still has yet to find good routes through the Mournlands. But in west of the Mournlands, I mean, it is an extensive, travel network. And then you have airships that are starting to become more and more commonplace. For the most part, people view the houses pretty favorably. However, there is a very vocal group, Purple Party in particular, who is who feels that the houses shouldn't own everything, that the airships and lightning rails should be owned by the people of Ondair.
Socialism. Don't have
So it is. My apologies. There is another message from Avar, and that is that they are sending someone, and that you are to meet them around noon. Not too far from where you are.
And it's 11 now.
Yeah, it's about it's about 11 now.
How long of a walk would this location be from us?
How long of a walk? From where?
Mhm. From where we are.
Oh, from where you are. I see. Not far.
Okay,
Did
so
they
we don't
give
have to
us-
leave right this minute.
A description of who we should be looking for?
Just a name. That you are to meet a Raymond de Denith.
He sounds like a douche.
That's
I'm just kidding.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks.
Let's go into this with preconceived notions.
Oh man, I think Brian's just still salty about me trying to introduce his gargoyle to the monster hunter's group.
Yeah, you sabotaged that.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
man, I think I want Lob back.
Wow, you finished your other thing really fast. Good for you.
Well, would Wob like this guy?
I don't know.
hate him.
Yeah, probably.
Really?
So we have to meet a Ramon something or other,
Raymond, yep.
but we don't know what he looks like.
He
No,
probably knows
but-
what we look like. Party of
Yeah, I'm
5,
guessing
4
no.
versus party of 1.
Yeah, I mean this isn't the era of ID badges and databases with photos.
Well,
So
That's what
Not yet,
signet rings.
anyway.
That's what signet rings are for.
Mm-hmm.
Does it say why we are meeting him?
It does not.
Nice and vague, just how we like it.
Nice and vague.
Keep it safe.
All right. So you have about an hour. You can pass the time in the marketplace where you guys kind of currently are. Or you can, try for a quick stop in the Kalashtar, but I don't know if it'd be
Yeah,
that quick.
for now. Yeah, we'll be there longer than.
Yeah.
So we might as well just hang out in the bazaar area.
Okay. So you guys.
Meeting place could be trap.
From our own house already, as soon as we're getting a new contact.
Possible.
There's that paranoia.
Spirit of
Everyone-
law
You
lives
get-
on.
That's what you get for making deals with people that aren't part of the houses.
Seems
So
everyone-
what you could do is you could arrive a few minutes early, and you got two somewhat stealthy people if you want to kind of keep an eye out.
Suggests that. Seems everyone knows where we are. Possible. What was the term? Houses may be informing others.
I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think we need to be that cautious.
Hope not, but cannot hurt.
I mean, if it does make you feel a little bit better, Mother, the messages that you were sent have to go through a lot of security. There are codes
True.
that you have to give, codes that are responded to. It is not as simple as going up to the Standing Stone and saying, "Hey, I want to talk to this person." There's a lot of, especially since you guys are servitors within it.
Is the meeting place a very public place?
Yeah.
There's also that.
Yeah.
Hard to do an ambush in a very public place.
Well, it's happened before, but
That's
And
also
how did
true.
how did it go?
You almost got arrested?
But no one died.
All right. So, are you staking out the place,
Yeah,
or
we'll
you
get there
guys
there
just?
early and we'll look around, look for
Okay.
suspicious people.
Yeah, I'll do a quick sweep of the place, but I don't want to go into tremendous detail combing it.
All right. So you guys arrive. I'm going to say about 10, 15 minutes early, maybe even 20. You kind of, scope around. You don't see anyone. You don't see Mont Richard or any of his goons.
Oh, bummer.
Out and about looking for you.
Is it
And then
a common
probably-
square?
Yeah, it's outside the marketplace. It's near where
Okay.
the library is. So there's nice little public commons area, and you guys do see a. Oh, did I? Yeah, I did redo your.
Inventory.
Jamie, did you check your inventory?
I did. Thank you, sir.
Do you approve?
I do approve.
Okay. So, you guys do see someone take up or a new person walking in. Jamie, why don't you describe?
I am a 6 foot tall human who is wearing a very well maintained plate mail. In fact, the plate mail is it looks a little above standard plate mail. Also carrying a shield, and on that shield is the symbol of a red dragon. He's
That's
not wearing a
vicious.
helmet.
I know.
He's not wearing a helmet. You can see that he has well-groomed hair, and it is mostly gray with hints of black, so it's very salt and peppery. He gives the air of experience, but not being old, if that makes sense.
Okay.
He also is probably, I'm gonna take a little dramatic license here. Sorry, Nate. Is probably fresh into Fairhaven. And in doing so, and coming into the square, he's going to find the closest cleansing stone that is in the square. And he's going to go up to it, and he is going to touch it, and magically his armor and his appearance looks even cleaner than it did before. Other than that, I mean, he looks distinguished. He has an air of order, but not like overbearing or strangling, and not strangling, not suffocation in the way, in the rigidness of order.
Does anything about his heraldry stand out?
It would be a religion roll. Well, I don't want to step on the GM's. So, sorry.
No. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys can definitely make a religion check to see if you know.
What's the worst that could?
Mother, seriously.
Apparently, I have it on advantage.
Oh yeah, you do have it on advantage.
I thought you had
You
to.
know, though, I'm gonna say, it's not so uncommon that both Dove and Mother you recognize it. So, Jamie, what are they looking at exactly?
It is not the most common heraldry of this particular god, but it is the god Dul Ara of the Sovereign Host, which is the god of light and justice.
Okay. And the gods take a back seat in Eberron than like in other campaign settings, though, right? They're like more of an ideology and less of an actual interfering power.
Less that they take a back seat, more that they are very much like the gods of our modern world. Okay. Many people believe in them and follow them,
but there's not always like
it causes a lot of fucking issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not going to meet a god,
right?
And if you do, people are going to think you're crazy, even people within your faith.
Okay. But they still hold a little bit of sway, maybe a lot of sway. The churches themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But his is a lesser known one, you said, generally?
Well, no, the heraldry, like the red dragon symbol. I mean, there is a main symbol, and I don't have it in front of me. But the red dragon is also a symbol of this particular god.
Right. It is a very obscure, a more obscure reference to Dol Ara than probably what you would see. In which case, I'm actually going to say, yeah, I'll still let the two of you know. But Saf and Dalavash, you're not at all sure. Although you do find it interesting that you met a red dragon last night.
Yeah.
And now here is now as you cleanse yourself and take around, you look around and you immediately recognize Dove from the descriptions that you have given. And
I have a little more
Dub, you're
detail on the
pretty.
heraldry.
Oh, go
it's
ahead.
a red dragon perched atop a cloud.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, I really have to go pee. I'll be right back.
Okay. I need to grab something anyway, so why don't we take a quick break, everyone?
Oh,
All right.
perfect. Food.
All right.
Here I thought he was just avoiding Raymond. So are you actually moving yourself when you move
No.
like that, or is
I-
that the controller?
I hold left bumper and then press Y, and then that happens.
Okay.
If I press X, then he jumps. Press A to do the dance there. B does this. And if I hold left trigger and hit Y, then I get that. Actually, let's zoom out a little bit. That. And then B, A, X. If I hold the right bumper, Y doesn't seem to do anything. Triggers, no, nothing. Okay. Right now I got the joystick set to spin the environment and zoom in and out, but if I press up on the D-pad, it's supposed to make my arms move, but they don't. Right on the D-pad lets me do the tongue thing. And then left on the D-pad is how I can go back to rotation and zoom. Down on the D-pad lets me actually move around.
Interesting.
I like being able to just zoom in and out.
You can be the headless horse dove, though.
Sorry, coffee just goes right through me for some reason.
Yeah, there's a little bit of clipping there.
That comment that
Right.
you made about a Bethesda game is like so dead on.
Right? Did you see my thing about I can play WoW in VR?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I might have to download a third-party app to run on the computer because it's not supported, but I guess WoW has a 3D monitor option that's not well known, I guess. The app utilizes
Wow.
the 3D monitor, 3D TV, to create the two eyes for the VR headset. But it's only 180 degrees, it's not 360 degrees. But, I mean, you turn your head and it's still going to turn. But I was trying to do Star Wars Squadrons with it today, but I had to update the headset and a bunch of other stuff. But I bought a 20-foot USB-C cable so that I can plug it into the back of the computer and play small games. It's only got 128 gig internal hard drive, so to do stuff like games that aren't Quest native, you need the cable. But the motherboard I bought has an actual USB-C port on the back of it, so it's not even going through an adapter or anything. It's straight into the computer, which is nice. But I haven't used it in like a month. That's the problem with VR, is like you'll play it for nonstop for a week and then not touch it for months. I need to get prescription lens inserts for it. I'd probably use it more if I didn't have to fidget with my glasses every time I put it on.
I took a break playing Flight Sim, so I probably would have used it like every day.
Oh yeah. I bought a World War I flight sim for it, but I haven't really messed with it too much. Because I bought it because I was at my parents' house and I thought my dad would want to check it out, and then we ended up not even using the VR while I was up there. Like, But it's cool. Like the weird controllers are really neat. Have you seen those?
No.
The Quest controllers.
I meant to pick one up when you mentioned that they were going to go
Before
up in
they
price.
jumped $100? Yeah.
Yes, and then I completely forgot about it.
That sucks. And then you only need the 128 gig one. You don't need the 256 one that costs $100 more, because the games you buy for it are not very expensive or not very large file wise. And if you have the cable like I bought for an extra $20, you can just plug it into the computer and you don't have to worry about that shit. But of course I bought Beat Saber for it, because being able to play Beat Saber not tethered to the TV or anything is very nice. I'll find a picture of the controllers.
All right. Everyone back?
Hunter may not be. I mean,
Yeah,
I
wasn't
think
sure.
she's at the desk, but
Far away. I'm here. I'm just eating,
ah,
so I'm not showing myself.
Okay. All right. So, Dove, you're reasonably sure that
Yes.
this is Raymond,
Right.
and Raymond, you're reasonably sure that you
How-
found Dove. And
How
you
famous? How famous is Dove?
Here, not very.
Well, no, I mean in general, like in the world. Like, if someone had visited Sharn or a major metropolitan area, would they know of Dove?
Probably only if you're into, like, actually the music scene. I think it'd be like the average person who just lives their lives day to day, probably not. But somebody who bar hops and goes to concerts and stuff, probably.
All right. I'm gonna take it that I minorly know you.
Okay.
I know you by reputation.
Okay. I will definitely attempt to make eye contact and get your attention.
Was I told that I was gonna? What description was I give? Or
Two redheads, a warforged, and a.
You were given detailed descriptions of everyone,
all right.
and you were also given a magically sealed letter to give to Dove upon your meeting.
Ooh,
Alright.
magically sealed.
Then I start approaching Dove directly.
Alright, I'll say, heads up, guys. I think our man is here.
And as I get within, 5 or 6 feet, I do a small bow, and
I will hold my
I
hand
say-
out, like they do.
I say, "Yes, Dove Villanova, I suppose."
And you must be Raymond?
I am indeed. Your reputation precedes you.
You seem to be a man of honor, as displayed by your
One
heraldry.
could say that. But for now, I am carrying a missive for you personally.
Oh,
And I reach underneath my breastplate. I guess. I don't know where I keep these things. And bring out this sealed envelope for Dove.
I will take it. Now, do I know how to open it?
Yep.
It's like a standard magical seal or something.
Yeah, you have a key basically that will unlock, messages bound and sealed for you, and you can now see a letter of introduction in the journal notes.
Ooh. I will do my wave with the hand and open the note. Veteran of the last war, I see.
Yes. It has been some time, but that is not something I wish to have to see again.
Nor any of us, I think.
agreed.
In fact, I think that's what we're trying to prevent while we're here in Fairhaven.
Yes, I have been assigned to assist you. I'm not sure of the makeup of your group, but like I said, I was assigned to this task.
Judging by your equipment, I believe that you will nicely fill the niche that has recently been vacated.
Oh, yes, I see that you are missing one.
We are.
Uh,
Due to some unfortunate circumstances.
Yes. See, that is a funny thing. I had a close interaction with your party before.
Have you?
Yes. I had to see the head of well, I am from House Denise, as you might know. But you were in Carlacton for a time.
Yes.
And I had to visit the Minister of Housekeeping, I guess you would say. And he was rather distraught that one of your members destroyed his library.
Well, then you might be pleased to know that that individual is not currently among us. So please do not take your frustrations out on the remaining group.
I must admit, though, I am a bit confused. Are you mercenaries?
No. What would give you that impression?
Now, hold on one second. Ramon, what you would know is that Dove is a Grand Arbiter, which among the houses of the 12.
So she is the Grand Arbiter that I'm working with.
There's many. Among the houses of the 12, a Grand Arbiter would be like a U.S. Marshal.
Oh, I was gonna say like an
All right.
ambassador, but I like Marshall better.
All right, but who specifically is the Grand Arbiter that you mentioned?
Dove.
All right.
So if someone says they didn't kill my wife, I have to yell out, "I don't care!"
All right. I call back. I mean,
Yeah.
I rewind a little.
Yeah.
That's
That's what you know. You know that arbiters are judges,
I am the law.
but also can pass down like harsh sentences among two houses or individuals in houses. Typically, an arbiter has to be involved if a member of a house is to be excoriated, where they are formally cut off from the house. And you know that part of the reason you're sent here is to help, to assist however you can, in the current assignments of this Grand Arbiter.
okay.
But also, you've also been told, as well as now Dove, that there is rumors that the blood of Vol has been involved in affairs in Ondair, Fairhaven in particular.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I knew what that group was. Doesn't ring a bell to me.
I
out of
do.
Character.
But
House of what? Voles?
Vol.
well,
Vol.
Vols,
So,
you know those little,
real quick.
rodents.
There used to be 13 dragon-marked houses.
Oh, that's right.
Vol, V-O-L, was the 13th house. Actually, it was the first house. Like House Thorashk is the newest house. In the grand scheme of things, it's only been a couple thousand years since it's been around, I think.
only a couple thousand.
Whereas
Only.
the House of Vol was around for 13,000.
Jesus.
To put things in perspective, right? So, the House of Vol was totally and completely eliminated many years ago But the Blood of Vol is a cult who seeks to restore it or continue the work. And the House of Vol dealt with like things like blood magic and dark magic. None of the other houses have dealt with, or at least dealt with openly. So you would all very much be aware of the Blood of Vol,
Okay.
especially as it relates to the dragon marked houses.
So they still have like people vote now?
Administrators.
Administrators.
Concord administrators.
That's the one. Thank you, Jamie. It was bugging me.
So you are a Grand Arbiter,
I am.
and this is your team.
It is.
I have been sent here to assist you in the negotiations of a peaceful resolution between House Lorandar and Orin.
Welcome to the team.
Mother bows.
Silence is golden.
I bow back. Warforged. I fought with many of your kind.
Yes, this is Mother. And this is Saphael.
Definitely not like those Blood of Vol types.
And this is Dalabash. The DLC version, not budget Dalabash.
Nice to meet you.
I just nod.
Madame.
I love it. Does Brian even get that reference?
I don't know.
I was
think
told
so.
about it
Yeah.
afterwards. Yeah.
Okay.
Good to have you on the team. See, you are well maintained, and I suspect experienced.
I am somewhat experienced.
Anyone who has seen that war,
You know, the war ended, what, 30 years ago? Right. So he's got to be in his
50s.
50s. Okay, yeah. Whereas
Early
I'm,
50s.
Whereas I'm
but
just the right age to have not seen the war.
Me too.
Okay, Bertrand.
I am not Bertrand.
Yes, and you're not that old.
I'm gonna play my next character is gonna be a werewolf.
You don't want to get killed while you're peeing in an alleyway?
I
spoilers,
probably will
sorry.
be killed peeing in an alleyway.
Can I do it?
Well, I mean, why would you? But
yeah, right.
Why
Team,
not?
same team.
Character development.
Well, perhaps while
Care
we're here in the
to-
bazaar, we should get something to eat.
care to enlighten me on the progress so far, and perhaps not in such a public
Yes.
area?
Why don't we find something to eat and we'll discuss over lunch.
Hey,
Good idea.
Dove, did you read the note?
Yes, the one that Jamie gave us. Or the
Yeah,
one that came
fully.
with him? I mean, I was reading it and talking at the same time, so I might have missed
Wow.
subtle details. I see the Blood of Vol references.
Third paragraph. Reread that.
Oh, okay. Like the very first part?
Oh, the whole thing.
Right, but that he's not officially part of the Servitors.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to be a secret organization or not?
Yeah.
Okay, so we probably don't say, hi, we represent the 12?
No, that's why you were introduced.
Well, what position does an arbiter have? Don't they
Yeah,
represent
exactly.
the 12?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why you are introduced as a Grand Arbiter. You are not really a Grand Arbiter.
Okay.
That is basically your cover.
My cover. Got it.
But-
Okay.
In order for you to do what your team needs to do,
Yeah,
you guys need to have that level of authority.
right.
Now, not every servitor cell would have a Grand Arbiter.
Okay, so as of now, as far as he is concerned, that is exactly what we are. Is an
Mhm.
arbiter and a team, and if his service proves worthy, he can be potentially introduced into the 12.
Yeah. Well, the 12 is the 12.
I mean the
servitors.
servitor
Yeah.
sect
Mhm.
of the yeah.
Yeah.
Terminology.
They're
gets me
like
sometimes.
the CIA /
Right.
paramilitary group
Yeah.
Secret
of the
police.
12. Yeah.
They're the East German Stasi.
Mhm.
Okay.
Chris might be the only one that gets that reference.
Mhm.
That escalated quickly. I mean, not that the CIA are great, but
Right.
Do you want everyone to see the note?
Yeah. I think at some point in the near future, I would pass it around to everybody else when he's not necessarily present to read it. But
I don't think he would. I don't think he would think much of it.
No.
Because there were orders to you. But if you're sharing them with your team, honestly, you probably see that as like you're open with your team and
Yeah.
and you're, So I think it's just important for everyone else to know as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think it's more
To
like
be
while I'm
cautious of-
talking to him, I just kind of offhandedly palm it off to Saf over my shoulder, like subtly. But I'm talking to him, so even if he does see it, he doesn't necessarily register it as being important.
Right.
Okay.
So for those of you, Mother, Saf, and Dalavesh, you can now see the letter of introduction in the journal notes.
But yeah, in the meantime, we'll get something to eat, sit down at a little outdoor cafe, and just explain the general basics of what we know about the houses bickering and how the governor of the city and his military douche army seems to have
Now,
issues with us.
how much detail are you guys going to go into about what all has happened?
Probably not a huge amount,
Yeah, I think we'll be sparse on the details, at least for now.
because we're playing cautious, like the note says.
And I think the thing too is that we haven't done much with what we've needed to do for the houses, so there's not really much to tell him. We've had a lot of other side stuff go on.
Yeah.
So keep it to what he needs to know at the moment, in my opinion.
yep. Probably say there have been complications and possible attacks by, well, one certain attack by Blood Vol.
And I think, not to exclude JB from the Kalistar thing, but I think since that's very Saf personal related, we probably wouldn't necessarily take him with us. Because
I mean, I don't think there's going to be... I don't know, she doesn't want to go anyway, so she wouldn't put it past it's putting one person in for another to hear.
Okay.
And it's also about Dalavash, so...
I mean, that's
is
true.
Is there a problem?
Yeah, we're off.
Is
We're
there a
whispering to
problem
each other.
that needs?
We have other business to attend to than what we've been assigned while we're here. That's all.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
We have,
we're
we have
balancing
a few
plates right
different
now.
things. Yes.
well, I guess as would be expected with a group of your size.
A few personal issues to attend to, but if Safiel is okay with it, you're welcome to accompany us. As this is a very
Madame?
personal matter.
I'm not sure how private that the High Seeker will make it, but I have no...
Oh, you're
Longs.
going to see the High Seeker.
Yes.
Is she a follower of the light?
We all look
I
at
have no
Dalavash.
idea.
What would I know about her leanings toward the path of light? Will I have any indication of that from our meetings?
Mm,
I may be getting confused.
No,
But don't
Kalistar-
some of the Kalistar follow a path of light that is
Yeah.
similar to Dal Ara, but it is not Dal Ara. but they
Alice-
share a like a light in the darkness motif.
Yeah, Dalavash is one of the followers of the Path of Light.
There you go. You could be the best of friends.
Well, I didn't say they were. I didn't say they were friendly. I said they shared a motif. Because, like religion, everyone believes their way is the true way.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, certain religions do.
Hmm. All right. Well, after we give them the basic rundown, we'll head that way. We don't have an appointment or anything. We don't know necessarily when we're coming. Just that
Correct.
they wanted to speak to her.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is correct.
Um,
They had basically said to show your,
A writ of passage.
yeah. All right.
How far from us is that?
It's not too far. I will say that probably about 20 minutes will pass, and you guys will get there.
Okay.
One quick thing, on the way, Mother will ask Raymond, am I correct that you are a follower of Delaron?
Jamie, you're muted.
Dolara.
Dolara, sorry. Judging by your attire.
I'm on mute. I am indeed, but all of the sovereign hosts are equally worthy. I just happen to make commonplace with Delara more than the other members of the sovereign host.
A very diplomatic answer.
It is good to see a fellow follower. May I ask what inspires you to
Guys,
particularly...
I will be right back. I got to deal with a kid issue.
Sure.
But
All right.
continue, please.
I'm sorry, what was that last part?
May I ask what inspires you to follow Delara particularly? If that is not too personal.
That he looks a little distant as you say that. He looks past you, and I'm sorry. Perhaps for another time. It is deeply personal.
I understand.
You are also a follower of Delara?
I apologize. Revere Delara as one of the hosts. My particular is, gosh, why am I blanking now? I want to say Ondar is the name, but...
But it is a member of the sovereign host?
Yes. Onatar, that is it. God of the
Onatar.
forge and
Forge.
craftsmanship, basically.
Yes. Yes,
I believe that artifice can bring us much improvement, greater quality of life, so I hope to share that.
I have served with many of your kind. I don't mean to sound offensive if you draw offense from that. I know the Warforge have a long and troubled road that they have traveled.
No offense taken. It is complicated.
It is indeed, much like anything in this world is complicated. But at least your creators put some thought into your design. I I don't know where you gain your sentience from, but it is not as sacrilegious and cheap as those of the blood of Vol. I'm going to say something while Nate's not here. Well, I mean, not if Nate was here, I'd still say it. But the blood of Vol, in Karnath, particularly, it's they raised armies of undead. So they fought when they needed martial power. Instead of like hiring mercenaries or raising an army of them for themselves, instead their decision was to make armies of undead, and they in Karnath anyway, where House Deneath is, and House Deneath is the house that hires out mercenaries, like live living mercenaries. The Blood of Vol for a time had the ear of the king, and so the Blood of Vol got kind of intertwined with the government of Karnath, and so there still is part of their military units of undead. Yes.
Am I remembering right? They aren't making more of them, though. They just have
Right.
the ones
Much
they
like the
already have.
Warforged. The Warforged,
yeah.
they're not making new Warforged, but it's. I find your kind a more practical and, like I said, I don't know where you get your sentience from, but you are not stealing from the living. That much I am certain.
Well, I am glad of that. It is perhaps a mystery to me as well. Perhaps one I would hope to learn.
Well, I have much respect for your journey.
Thank you.
What do the rest of you do? Well, yes, you're the
good.
Grand Arbiter.
I am good with words.
You are the
I'm
Grand
told.
Arbiter, and what a fine choice for a Grand Arbiter than someone who, with as such a beautiful voice as you.
Ah, I appreciate the compliment, though having not actually heard it yet, you are purely going on reputation alone, I suspect.
Perhaps, but I am well traveled.
Hmm.
And I have spent a time with the crap. I forgot what the group is called.
I'm sure you've been through Sharn more than a few times.
A few times, but it is not quite. It is hard to get comfortable in Sharn. There are so many things going on, and so many. That is such a large place with so many people.
It is an acquired taste.
It certainly is.
I spent most of my life there, so it's not as difficult for me as it might be for some.
For the wilderness myself.
You prefer
I
what?
can tolerate the city, the wilderness.
And what do you do, fine sir? I see a bow on your back. Is that a bow?
Yeah. Yes, it's a bow. I am a Kalishtar. I follow the path of light, and I am what's known as
the
a
path of light.
shit. What I just looked at it. I don't remember what it's called now. Shadow something. Shadow Watcher. I am what's known as a Shadow Watcher.
Oh,
was
you and I are somewhat similar, traveling parallel paths.
Ah. Then you'll make a good companion. I was hunting down the dark quarry in the wilderness before I joined the 12.
Yes. You hunt the Dark Quarry, which is an admirable task. I am somewhat more general in my quarry. All
Yeah.
darkness.
See what you did
I'm
there.
not opposed to that
Quarry. Quarry.
Yeah.
Quarry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My quarry was quarry.
And you, madame?
I just get information and do as I'm told. Back up.
Wait, what? You do as you're told? does
Shut
that
up.
ever happen?
He is
You.
a skilled investigator.
Enough of you.
If you don't mind, and I don't mean offense at this, but you don't seem, just from my short perception and observation of you, you don't seem like a woman that does as she's told.
You know, I can't say I didn't try.
We value
I'm
her
nodding
independence.
behind her.
You're an asshole. No, depends on who's telling me what to do.
That's fair.
Saphiel does better when she's not on a leash.
Hmm. An orcish leash? No, he didn't say that.
Yes, actually. How'd you know?
Well, it is good to know you. Like I said, well, I guess not like I said. As you have probably figured out, I am indeed a follower of Dolora. I am one of her paladins.
That speaks volumes in itself.
Honored to have you with us, sir.
Do I know anything about this god now that he's mentioned it? Or do I need to make a religion roll? Or
You made a religion roll
that failed.
and you failed. We could say that you used your inspiration and you can take your 19.
Sure, why
Sir,
not?
sir, you seem distraught. Do you need to know the ways of Dolora?
Oh, God.
Perhaps you can find guidance in its ways and find that, like I said, we travel in many parallel paths. But Dolora is not concerned with just the quarry, but all those things that cause darkness in this world.
Well, the path of light is not concerned with just the quarry either, but that
Of
is
course. Of course.
one of many foci.
I am just trying to bring light to your darkness.
Oh, I have plenty of light in my darkness. I appreciate it, though.
Now we're gonna have like a competition to see who can outshine who.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Who's the holiest?
Mother is the holiest.
The path I follow isn't really a religion so much as a spirituality, though.
Yeah.
It's not really as organized.
Well, I mean, it's mentioned as one of the religions.
Yeah, but it's kind of looser than a religion, I think.
It's a philosophy,
Yeah.
which you can use to jab at me. Like, at least I don't follow a god.
At least I don't have tons of dogma that I have to follow.
I gotta go again, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
But we've exhausted all the role playing.
We can find some more. We can find some more. Come on, people. Let's
Yeah.
gather
There's
together.
got to be
Let's
some
gather
Something.
together and role play while the GM is away. Dogma, you say?
I walk off with
Look,
Sam.
My,
As you guys start talking religion, we just
Yeah, I know.
wander
Seriously,
somewhere
we'll be
else.
like, we'll be over
Like,
here.
oh god.
that dogma builds structure.
Come on,
And-
Saf and Dove. You can learn a thing or two.
I think we've learned
No,
enough.
I think Dove and I have other things we could talk about.
Like all the boys. Oh wait.
Well, one
Over
boy.
parties.
Some pillow fights.
Oh my god.
Oh wow!
Well, fine. I guess I'll go fuck myself then.
Wait till that period starts syncing up.
That's a myth.
I mean,
I am sure Lob would tell you to.
What were you saying about dogma?
Dogma brings structure and organization to life.
Yes, but it can also be a bit too restrictive.
It can.
And sometimes
It
some
can,
will
but
use
so-
it as a justification for their own
it
selfish
can, but
wants
one
and
could
needs.
also be said the same for morals.
You've had this conversation's gone on so long. I'm in the dark now. It's nighttime.
We don't have a GM to progress the story, so
I know.
we kind of just have to go with it.
Winging it.
And the sun comes back up.
Okay,
dark
cool.
side
Well,
of
if
the
you
dove.
don't, if you want to keep bullshitting, I'm going to talk to Dove. It'd be annoying. What do you think of those notes?
Oh.
Do you think they're really accurate that Lob gave us?
I think we know that Tomas was keeping an eye on us. I think we know why now.
Yeah.
So I don't
That's part of what
really
I was
find
thinking.
them hugely suspicious.
What?
The cult part, though.
A lot of
Yeah,
a
true.
lot of the actions that happened were faked. Anyways, the GM
cult,
is back.
The cult part, yeah. I mean, she's
Yeah,
right.
that was the most concerning. The rest is irritating, but that was the most concerning of what we're learning.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then once we think that they're done talking about religion, we come wandering back.
So
Yes.
Nate's back. So
And I'm going to actually ask for all of the papers instead of just the draconic ones.
Dalavash, Mother, and Raymond are talking religion, and
We're talking secret notes.
Yes.
Safiel and Dove have kind of scampered away to talk strategy about all the different notes that have popped up.
Yeah, I have no problem with you holding on to the notes either if you want to keep track of.
Okay.
Keep
As long as you know I'm going to use them for confrontational purposes.
Hey, you know. I assume as much when you take them.
You're the best.
And what of ethics?
Oh,
they
next?
I don't think. I think we came back
want
too soon.
We turn around, and walk back again.
What
Yeah.
are morals really but dogma taken to an extreme?
Well, wait, that is what you are calling your.
I mean, the other way around. What is
Yeah, I was
dogma
gonna
about
say.
morals taken to an extreme?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Wait a minute, you're putting yourself even more restrictive.
Yeah, no, I meant the
Well, one could say that.
Well, this
But-
has been fun.
Let me.
Oh, look, we're there.
Let me
Oh,
assure
what a
you.
good, really short 20-minute walk.
Yes, let me assure you, though, that I personally try to receive things with an open mind, and am not as restrictive to the dogma of my religion as
Wow.
others of my kind.
That's probably a good thing.
I am not one of those paladins of the Silver Flame.
Mhm. Good.
Long as one seeks understanding, that is certainly a start at the least. Or perhaps enough. Regardless,
Are your friends all right? They seem to be gone quite a bit, a long time.
They tend to have an allergic reaction to the words religion and spirituality.
Oh,
Yeah, I was dreading this, but now it
I
seems like the
could
best
have
thing
sworn. I could have sworn that they're both redheads.
ever.
No souls.
Oh, yeah.
Not Dove, but I think her name was Safiel.
Mhm.
She has the look about her of speaking with divine entities.
Oh yeah. Hmm. Funny.
You don't notice? She looks confused halfway through her sentence.
That's called pregnancy, you fucking asshole.
No, I hadn't noticed that.
Wow.
Hmm.
Should I make a deception roll, or are we just going with it?
Oh yeah, because he would have no fucking idea. Oh. Boy.
All right. You guys arrive at an area, and as advertised, many moons ago, by a certain Tomas, the Kalishtar district does not disappoint. The architecture, the spires, all of it is simply
Is it
breathtaking.
walled off? Like, is it completely separate?
It kind of is. It is definitely a very self-contained ward.
It's
In
like
the
a
city?
gated community.
hmm
You don't get that bias anymore.
I don't as a character, but I certainly do as a player.
Fucking asshole.
So, looking around, like I said, it is definitely something that you are all not disappointed that you did not miss.
Yes.
Speak for
And
yourself.
while there is a lot of people going in and out, you do see a number of armed individuals patrolling the entryway in groups of 3 or 4. For the most part, they don't seem to really stop or hassle anyone, really. They're just kind of there making their presence known. Hold on one second.
Oh no, fear the music change.
You do still have that paper, right, Delavesh?
Oh yeah, I have it.
Okay.
Okay. So, like I said, there are groups patrolling, 3 to 4, and as you guys approach, you kind of just blend yourselves into the flow of people entering, which, like I said, is a fair amount. Certainly, it's not to the level of like the entrance to Fairhaven itself or something like that. And while you can pick out the Kalishtar fairly easily, as like Dalavash, most of them have that all white hair, and they have a certain look about them, almost a pristine look. And you guys start making your way.
Do these armed groups have a uniform that I recognize, or
No,
okay?
they're just wearing armor and obviously carrying weapons, things like that.
Assault
Yeah.
rifles.
Assault rifles.
Yeah. The AR-15s.
Are they Kalishtar or other
Yeah.
people? Okay.
Yep.
So we
Are
kind
they
of
all Kalishtar, or are there like other races mixed in here and there?
The guards seem to be all Kalishtar.
should we stop a guard and ask where we need to go?
Before you do that, do we expect trouble here?
I hope not. We're
Well,
expecting
shouldn't be.
peaceful conversation, but we like to be prepared for anything.
hold on 1 second. Could you come in a little closer?
Sure.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I can only pick 3 of you. I'm gonna pick
Yes, there will be trouble.
Dalavash
Fool for going here.
and Mother and Dove. And I am going to say, by Dal Ara, praise thee and prepare us for the troubles that lie ahead. And I'm going to cast Aid
Oh, nice.
on those 3.
Which
Cool.
are your
Hit
hit
point-
points?
Dalavash, Mother, and Dove. And their hit point maximums increased by 5
Boink.
for the next 8 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, Aid's a pretty cool spell.
So she's gonna say back mentally, I didn't want to be here either. I've been dreading this just as much as you have, but the High Seeker knows stuff that we need to know, which could include stuff about you.
If we survive to find out, look at these foul creatures.
And you get the sense that he's not just talking about the guards, that all of the Kalishtar he seems
Yeah.
to include.
She is visibly very tense, and I agree with you, I understand, but this is something we have to do. This is a place that if I have to run, I will try and run. Though I don't know if that would help. As you can see, there's millions, well, there's a lot of them.
If I notice Saf's having one of her introspective moments, I kind of interpose myself between her and the new guy so he doesn't hopefully notice. But it sounds
Thank
like
you.
he's already noticed before.
I don't know. My wisdom and my passive perception is pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that.
I mean, she's not trying to hide it, she's just not saying anything,
Right.
so.
Suddenly,
If I do notice, I kind of cock my head and be like, "That's what I'm talking about." I mean, I don't verbalize it,
Right.
but the look on my face is like, "That's what I was talking about."
all right. Suddenly, as you guys are passing, by a group of guards come somewhat close to you, and one of the guards does a double take, and you hear them shout out, "Halt!" Some words are exchanged, and they, drawing weapons, they approach your group.
We're here to see whatever her name was.
Hi, Seeker
Where'd my
Janella.
hands go?
Yeah, I sit down on the ground. I don't do anything besides say hi, Seeker Janella.
Yeah, we're here to see the High Seeker, and I'm gonna pull out the writ.
Run now. Now is your chance. Run.
Now's not the time when they have weapons out, stupid!
They cautiously approach, and they look at you, Dalavash, and then look at Saphiel, and just look at you with an expression of just absolute disbelief.
Yeah. Him or
And
me?
Dalavash.
Okay.
And they say, "You would dare bring one of them here?"
We were invited, sir.
That's what I was just gonna say.
What? Excuse me? One of who?
Shh, later.
As you guys are trying to get across the message, suddenly a woman approaches, also garbed in armor. However, You guys probably recognize her.
It's been a long time. If I'm supposed to recognize her.
In game time, not so much.
Right.
Right.
Was she at the party?
She was.
Oh, okay.
Now, you weren't really properly introduced. However, you recognize her as one of the 2 escorts for Janella. And as she briskly approaches, the guards quickly get to order, snap to attention, and one of them says, "My lady," and hands over the note, the letter, the writ, and he starts to explain that they had just seen your approach, and she quickly scans over it, is satisfied, folds it up, and hands it back to Dalavash. And she says, "At ease, Captain. Peace be upon you and yours. You have done everything we would expect of. All of these are known and are expected by the High Seeker herself. I will escort them from here." But my lady," and he starts to point to Sapphire. "Enough. It is the will of the Seeker, and that is all one such as yourself should find necessary. Go about your business at once." And bowing very deeply, he backs away, although you notice that all of the guards give second and even some of them third glances towards Sapphire. And there's hushed whispering.
Is this very noticeable?
Very noticeable.
Once they're gone, she'll stand back up, and just go right next to Dalavash, and just be extremely uncomfortable and quiet, and looks terrified because she is.
Well, Dalavash is indisposed. I'm gonna lean over to Mother and be like, "What? Am I missing something?"
It sounds like not, and yet we all may be.
Dove, your voice is so different.
But he said that's
no?
the mother.
Oh,
No,
he
I
did say.
did.
Oh,
No, I
yeah,
did
yeah,
say
yeah.
talk to Mother.
Yeah.
oh my god. My bad.
Ventriloquism.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is best if she explain later, but
Okay, interesting.
they have disagreement.
I see that.
I think it's up to Saf to explain.
One
This-
well,
as
one with
much or
such
as
clear
much as-
authority, making the guards relent in their duty.
Now,
Usually
while you
pertains to
guys
something
are
not
sort
pleasant.
while you guys are sort of talking about this, even if it's kind of quiet, especially with Dalavash chiming in, the woman says to you all, "If it would please you, come with me. I will take you to the High Seeker."
Staff's
The
down on the
sooner,
ground, right?
yeah,
I hold my
she-
hand out to help you up.
Is the captain of the guard still there?
yeah. No, not the captain. They
Oh.
left.
Yeah, it's
Never mind.
just her.
Just her.
I'm sure we're still getting looks from any
Yeah.
guards that are still in the area.
And you're also getting a lot of looks in general from people like passing by. But now that the commotion has somewhat passed,
Mhm.
they are less interested.
Like, is it that noticeable to them? Like, is it like a scent, or is it like
Um,
It's like a
something
sense
that
that
they see?
Kalistar have.
Yeah. Though not all do have, but anyways, she says to you all, I am Mira Salvador. Please come with me, and I will take you to the lady.
All in line.
With that, she nods and starts off with a brisk pace, taking you further back into the city. And so she takes you further back until you arrive at a rather impressive building. But one that is somewhat like nothing here, even though the architecture is beautiful, it's not even, especially in contrast with the rest of what you've seen in Ondair, there is a simplicity to the architecture where, the architecture in Fairhaven in general is quite splendid. A good word probably to describe it would be that it would be maybe a little ostentatious.
That's for Fairhaven in
Little,
general.
yeah, a little garish.
Form over function.
Yeah,
Extra.
yeah. However, as beautiful as it is here, it is less. It is more simple.
It's beautiful in its simplicity.
Right. There are clean lines, but there are not overt displays of wealth. You're not going to find gold and filigree and the tapestries are plain, and there's definitely a theme in the what really it looks like a temple, the building that you are taken to, and the tapestries show very dramatic, but very more like what's the word? Impressionist, right? So it's more impressionistic art of this light versus dark, and there are, as you go along, you kind of see the whole in the murals and the tapestries and art. You start and you basically see the entire history of the Kalish, where there are two nebulous entities, light and dark, and they're clearly at odds with one another. But then you see as these entities flee and are transformed and distilled into the bodies of the Kalistar themselves, who then, see only through dreams and visions their these benevolent quarry, and yet they are still surrounded by darkness. It's quite impressive as you are led through the temple.
I'm a bit distracted by the architecture.
Yeah, it is
I
certainly.
see a lot of familiar uh, connotations and whatnot. I don't normally see them to this degree
Mhm.
because the sovereign host tries to mellow out everyone's, like, they don't. No one in the sovereign host is more important than another. But am I right in seeing like there is an over saturation of light and darkness here?
Mhm.
Very dualistic. I'm taken in by the tapestries of the light and dark wars and the history and everything to the point where I'm feeling a little bit emotional.
Yeah. I mean, in a lot of ways, this is your first um, true, you know, experience with your very people, with your very being. And even though, your mother and father, whoever had raised you, tried to give you, as much of your history as they could, this is seeing it. And more importantly, it's feeling the the emotion that these impressionistic, art convey. It's a lot. Even Saf, you notice that the entire time that you were following Mira, you could feel the wariness, the pent up frustration, and in some ways fear of Elioth. And yet, as soon as you enter the temple, it is silent. It is. It's a retreat that you very rarely feel. You're always aware, even if it's subconscious and just in the back of. Now, that feeling, it's as if, like, you could almost, for just the briefest of moments, think to yourself, are you really just crazy? Is there really an entity living inside? Because you feel gone,
Hmm.
like just total absence that you've never felt before.
I want to say she feels relief, but she doesn't.
Yeah.
That actually makes her feel worse, and she feels very out of place and emotional on the entire opposite spectrum of where Dalavash is at. She's like, I don't want to be here. Everything I see makes me feel like a terrible person. Like, she's not happy with the choice she made to be here.
All right, you guys are brought to what looks like a meditation room, or I would hate to say it's a conference room, because it is definitely set up to be a very serene and um, relaxing space. There are huge cushions and pillows and things like that, and multiple places for people to rest. It's quite, for most of you, it's quite odd. There are no chairs. There just immediately you see just places that would be an incredible place to take a nap. You know, and everything about the room seems to want to encourage you to just take a load off, have a great nap. The scents, everything is calming and beautiful. And as Mira takes you into the room, she turns and says, "Please make yourselves at home. I will see if the High Seeker can see you now. And with that, she nods. And just before she turns to leave, she looks back towards Safi, but speaks as if to all of you. I would advise you remain here while I seek. She gives you a very pointed. And then nods and leave. Now some time passes, but it's hard to say how much. I would say probably at least about a good 25 minutes, probably. So it's a fair amount of time.
So during that time, I want to sit down and just kind of meditate on this whole experience,
Mm-hmm.
coming into the city and seeing all these things, the tapestries and the architecture.
Are there more tapestries and carvings or mosaics in this room that we're in?
In this room, there is art, but a lot of it has to do with what looks to be like dreams, and it is almost exclusively very light compared to the dichotomy of the dark
Okay.
versus light that you saw there. Um,
I don't relax. I do study. I remain standing,
Mhm.
and I do walk around, kind of studying the art and the whatnot in the room. And I do approach Safiel and say, "Is everything all right?"
That's a really loaded question.
You seem to be in distress.
I don't really want to talk about it. This is when we say
Okay.
this was personal, this is extremely personal.
Best, I understand, and I walk away.
She's just gonna go sit on the ground, like next to a chair, but not like in one or on anything, because she's again feels very out of place. She's like, I don't want to indulge in any of this because I don't feel like I should here. So she's just gonna sit on the ground and wait.
Even the ground is just covered in layered carpets.
Even
it
the
is-
ground
it is comfortable.
is opposed to you.
Let's get off me.
You're not supposed to be comfortable.
So, after that certain amount of time passes, a very strikingly beautiful enter.
She have horns?
No, she does not.
It's a hairpiece, probably.
It is a hairpiece. Technically, yes, she does have horns. The art that I drew, I think that's maybe an Asimir or something. I don't know. Or it might be a Pathfinder. Who knows?
One quick thing. Mother kind of softly says next to Staff, while kind of in a guarding position, I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
This must be difficult. I did not understand.
Well, I appreciate it, but we're here now, and this is hopefully the last time I ever have to come here.
All right. So, the High Seeker, Janella Fosway, enters the room. And everything about Nina is just it definitely goes a long way toward putting you at ease. She's a very open and approachable, very warm person. And as she enters the room, she gives all of you just a slight bow.
I will return the gesture.
Just a
Same.
just a warm greeting. In your mind, Dalavash, she says, "I am so glad you have come. Be welcome, for these are your people, and we welcome one who has been away for far long."
Thank you, High Seeker. And might I tell you what a lovely section of the city you have here?
Her response to you is just an inclination. We try to keep our history and the purpose of our people first and foremost in all that.
You have succeeded in this task.
To the rest of you, she says, "My apology. I am sure you are aware of certain aspects of my people and our ability to communicate through thoughts and emotion. It is natural for us to slip in greeting our own kind," as she inclines her head towards Dalavash. "However, I know that it can be seen as somewhat rude among those who do not share our gifts. So my apology." She gives you all a smile. Immediately, she approaches Yusef.
I tense up. a
In
little
just the most warm and welcomingest smile. And you can just see in her eyes concern and understanding. She holds out her hands, both of her hands, as you are there sitting on.
This is so dumb. I'm actually gonna cry.
bit.
She's terrified. She's so scared. Like, I understand she's like being very warm and open, but she's terrified.
It's like
She
Galadriel
will.
from Lord of the Rings.
What?
It's like Galadriel from Lord of the Rings. You're just afraid that the other shoe is gonna drop and she's gonna like
Slit my throat.
instantly turn.
and-
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yes, she's just looking at her.
Are you visibly scared? Like
Yeah,
is-
yes, like
yeah.
she's not trying to hide it. She is extremely uncomfortable. She's even knowing that like being near Kalashard, that is scarier to her than facing a dragon. Like, this is her worst nightmare.
Can I say something to Saf telepathically?
You sure can.
So I say to you, don't worry. If she wanted to hurt you, she would have by now.
That's not reassuring.
I don't think that's.
I was gonna say, she's just like nods her head like,
If she wants you
Thanks.
dead, you'll be dead. Is what he's saying.
thank you for that.
There's nothing you can do about it. So you might as well suck it up, Buttercup.
That's not what I meant.
I know.
I appreciate this.
Oh my god. I love it.
After he says that, if she's still holding out her hands and she thinks that Janella wants her to take them, she will take them as very little as possible.
She, as you take her hand, she very gently starts just pulling you to your.
Oh, okay.
And as you do, she holds your hands for just a while, and again, you can just see, the smile is still there, but her eyes search yours, and you can just that she is trying to feel and understand your emotions, trying to um, reach to you. And she stays there for just a moment. And then, letting go of your hand, she embraces you.
She can
All
feel you
right.
trembling.
I would say
she
she
gives you
freezes.
right. She gives you a warm embrace. And as she is, close to you, she softly whispers into your ear, "Be at peace. No harm shall come to you, for you are under my protection."
I hope
No
so.
harm will come. Yeah, no harm will come to your passenger. I. And with that, she kind of sits back and once again grabs your hands.
Kind of look at Raymond when she mentions the passenger to see if he
She
picked
said
up on
that
it.
very,
I-
very quietly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think any of you would have overheard
Okay.
that
Okay.
because she was just whispering that into Saphiel's ear. But when she does break the embrace and is once again holding your arms and just kind of looking into your eyes telepathically, she does say to you, Saphiel, "No doubt you are feeling something that you have not felt for perhaps your entire life. Hold
I
on one
mean,
second. What? Right here? The whole thing? It's probably because you were laughing and playing. Alright, love you guys.
she's gonna say back, I didn't know what I was until I got here, so you don't have any idea how right you are.
There are a certain number of protections that my people have against your kind, and in particular, your passenger.
In
This
particular,
is still between their minds, right?
Telepathically,
Yeah.
correct. His influence and ability to react will be limited, nor will he have any understanding of what happens here unless you wish to share
Hmm.
with them. Do you understand?
I do.
Now, because of the speed of telepathic thought, the rest of you just kind of see Janella bring Saf to her feet, give her a warm embrace, and that's pretty much it. It happens very, very quickly. She lets go and takes a nice big cushioned seat and gestures Please make yourselves comfortable. I've met most of you, but I have not met you, as she nods her head towards Raymond.
Madame, I am. This is my first time visiting your fine temple. I have not. I dare say I have not been to Fairhaven before. In fact, truth be told, I do not know much about my companions.
With that, she gives Dalavash a look with kind of a raised eyebrow. Indeed. Are you a member, or are you a hired help? As she
No.
kind of looks back towards you.
No, I am. Crap. What are they called, Nate? They're called the something marshals.
Marshal. Sentinel Marshal.
Is it? I am a member of the Sentinel Marshals. I am here at their discretion to assist the Grand Arbiter.
I think you're thinking of the Council of 12.
Am I thinking
Sorry.
of the what?
Well, when you asked me, I wasn't sure what you were getting at. If your title is Sentinel Marshal.
Yes.
You're a very high rank in House Deneath.
Yes, I am a.
But
Yep.
yeah, you're here on behalf of the Council of 12.
I am a Sentinel Marshal from House Deneath, sent here by the Council of 12 to assist the Grand Arbiter, and I motion towards Dove.
No, I say he's on loan to us in our endeavors to prevent interclan war. War.
I have much respect for your philosophy.
She gives a long look towards your shield and inclines her head, and she says, "If that represents your faith, I have no doubt you do. It is well met, Raymond." And she nods her head towards you. And if you guys haven't, if no one is set, she just says once more, please make yourselves comfortable. And she looks to you, Saf, and kind of pats a big cushion right next to her.
Oh, okay. She will oblige and go sit next to her, I guess.
I'm imagining a bunch of beanbag chairs just lying around.
Yeah.
Like that hall in PAX.
Like, how uncomfortable are you outwardly appearing? Like, are you...
Extremely.
Do you look like you're on fire?
Not that much, but she looks like...
super tense.
Has it gotten any better?
Yeah, so she's, like, not crying, obviously, now. But she's still... You can tell that she's uncomfortable. Like, if you looked at someone, they had to go to the bathroom, and they're just like, you can tell on their body language, they just look uncomfortable.
Because they're crossing their legs
skin.
and they're shifting their weight from toe to toe.
You can understand when someone looks uncomfortable in a situation, and that is how she looks.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's gotten a little bit better since Janella talked with you, yes?
Yes.
She's peed a little in her pants already.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can still tell that Saf is definitely still uncomfortable, but it's maybe just slightly a little bit better than it was before.
Right. There's still some in her bladder.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna use examples in it.
It's fair.
All right. And
I'm just gonna be the quiet observer for now.
all right. So,
I'm mostly watching
Two-
Dalabash because I figure if anything's gonna go down, he's gonna be the first to detect it.
Yeah.
So I'm reading him.
Like I searched over my spell list and I so wanted to cast Calm Emotions, but I don't have it.
Oh,
So for your information, Dove, I'm definitely looking pretty relaxed and
Yeah.
comfortable in the situation.
I'm basing what I should be on you. So,
I mean, I'm still not sitting in the beanbags. I'm still standing.
Yeah, that's fine. She does not. She doesn't mention it again. Telepathically to you, Saphiel, she says, "I take it he does not know what you are."
No, we just were assigned to him. He was assigned to us today, and I kind of told him to mind his business, though it seems the more I meet people, the more they know what I am before I do.
Frustrating experience, to be sure.
Very.
Would it? I have no idea if you will find this helpful information or not. But you are the first Elan I have ever met who didn't immediately try to kill me.
That's concerning. Them. Is there something wrong? Not that I want to attack you, obviously, but is there something wrong with me?
I had planned to talk to all of your companions, but I wish to be respectful of your privacy. You are an enigma to me. And I think hope for my people, hope for the Great War. I do not know, but you are unlike any of your kind I have met before. I know you have many questions, and I fear the reactions of my people have not allowed much hope and trust to form between your people and mine. But I count it a blessing that you travel with Dalavash. I believe there is great promise in him. And if he finds you to be a worthwhile companion, then that is all I need to know. But I would not discuss this openly if you do not wish it.
I don't know. I don't know what I want. I mean, answers, obviously. I don't know. I think Dalavash is broken too. Since he doesn't seem to want to kill me.
Think not of broken. Do you have a question, Eames?
no, sorry.
Oh.
I saw that too.
I was trying to figure. I was doing the thumbs up a lot, and then I just the wrong one.
Think not of it in terms of being broken. It is... Let me start elsewhere. You've been told what you are, but that does not mean anything to you. What you are is a race specifically engineered by the Quarry to be the embodiment of a living prison, to hold and bind a quarry against its will as a means of policing themselves. Unlike the Inspired, which are merely hosts, genetically engineered, bred to be the embodiment and merely a host to the Quarry, you maintain full control. Your race has always served the Quarry, and doubtless you are much older than you appear. I do not know if there is an end to your race in terms of years lived. For all I know, you may be immortal. But I know that most Elon typically go mad long before whatever limits on your body can be discovered. Hosting a quarry against its will, it seems, has a toll. What is your earliest memories?
Uh, besides his voice, being lost somewhere, and then eventually being with my family. He's never not been there, I hope. He's always been in the back of my mind. It's been easier to ignore him the older I get because he's like an annoying brother. Though, if I'm older than I think I am, maybe I've been dealing with him longer.
And you have conversations with it?
Yes, mostly him just being rude about decisions I've made, but yeah, when we almost died previously to events that happened, he was more compassionate, I guess, but it's mostly just rude comments.
I see. I am not aware if this is typical behavior between an Elon and its occupant, but I somehow doubt it. Though it is not like one of your kind would tell me how they think and operate. Any that we find are, well, I believe you have first-hand knowledge of what we do.
What happens, yes. How it happens, no. Do you know what happens if I died not at the hand of Kalishtar? Is he released?
I don't know. Tell me, do you care for it?
I would love to say I think I don't, but when things go wrong and he I don't feel his presence anymore, I get concerned. So, a reluctant yes. He's been the only consistent thing in my life.
I believe that we need more information, and I believe that perhaps your and Dalavash's paths are more connected than you know. I believe he has a part to play in your life.
Well, we can only find out, I suppose.
I intend to talk to your group about that, but I will not mention you, what you are, or the implications I see. Is that acceptable?
What are the implications you see?
I don't know exactly, but I believe Dalavash does, or has an idea. There could be huge implications. I believe you are not whole, that barriers have weakened between you and your quarry, that you are, in fact, much closer to a Kalishtar than you are an Elon. Though how we communicate to our quarry is exclusively through dreams. You have direct communication to yours. But I do not believe that that is typical.
Oh,
As I said, we need more information, but I wish to respect your privacy, your feelings. Know that whatever I tell your companions in Dalavash, for them it may be optional, but for you, I do not believe that it is. Do you understand what I am saying?
I think so.
Now, there is no question that there was a very long break in between, you guys sitting down. Once she kind of patted the seat, she looked fondly towards Safiel. And for the rest of you, it kind of became a little awkward because they were just kind of staring at each other. But it didn't last super long. It was just enough to be a little awkward. But then she immediately turns to the rest of you and she says, I am pleased to meet you all under far better circumstances than our last. I see there is one missing from your number. My apologies for
No need.
the experience that you had at the manor house. We try to maintain good relations with the throne and with the governor here, but it is a tumultuous time for your houses here. I'm sure you know that Urian is seeking changes
Yes.
in how Ondair treats the houses. For that, I know it is difficult to navigate, but I am sure if there's anything we can do to be of assistance, you have but to ask.
Definitely
much
keep that in
appreciated.
mind. Yeah.
While we may not have the ear of the king, we are not without some small measure of influence. But I fear I did not ask you to come here just to formally meet you. As you no doubt know, there are things happening here in this city and in the greater world, and we feel that you have a part to play. As she turns directly towards you, Dalvash. We believe, and I have seen through dreams, that you have a part to play in this battle and the greater war. But we need more information. Things that are hidden even to those we dream with. Our quarry. I would ask that you go and seek the amulet of An Quran. It is an ancient relic that has long been lost to our people. But its powers have been told to greatly enhance our link to our quarry.
Have
With
I ever heard of
this,
this amulet?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
She's making this up.
We believe with this, we would know more about your part to play in all of this, as she says towards Dalavash. And then telepathically to you, Saphiel, she says, and what part you might play.
She'll nod her head.
I know that you have many things that require your assistance. But I assure you that I believe these things are connected.
Is there any idea of where it is?
Mira, who you have met, will provide all of the details that we have. But I am afraid we may only be able to start you on the path and not provide you with its current location. As I said, it has been lost to our people for some time. In addition to us understanding the part you may play, my people would be forever grateful. And I can assure you that whatever influence we have would be put to your full disposal.
Running out of time.
Yep.
Okay.
So with that, I would say let's break for tonight, and we'll meet back next week.
Next week. Awesome.
And there is going to be a new quest that is available.
Excellent.
All right, stop.